Hello everyone and welcome back to My FI Crusade. My name is Sean, your FI Crusader, and today we are going to talk about how you calculate your net worth. And specifically, starting off the year 2020, we are going to look at my net worth and what my goals are for 2020. So stick around and we'll talk about what factors go into calculating your net worth. Now, before we get into exactly how to calculate your net worth, take a second to subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell to get more information whenever I post a new video. It helps my channel immensely, and it helps me to know that people are actually interested in my content, so I will make more of it. So how do you calculate your net worth? Well, your net worth is just your total assets minus your total liabilities. So that's anything that you own, like your home, your car, your bank accounts with the cash in them, your retirement funds, all of that added up, and then you subtract everything that you owe, like your mortgages, credit cards, home improvement loans, and student loans, and all of that. So once you subtract those from your assets, that is your total net worth. And basically what that comes down to is if you were to sell off everything that you owned today, would you be able to cover your debts, and how much money would you have left over? And that's your net worth. So now that we know how to calculate a net worth, why don't we take a look at mine? We're going into 2020. I'll be turning 40 in 4 days on January 5th. Happy New Year, by the way, to everyone. Today, I have gone through and I have done a net worth assessment, and just wanted to get a clean slate going into my year 40. Give me an idea of where I'm starting off from. I'm not really starting off from here because I really started this process a few months ago. So I'm actually quite a bit ahead of where I was just back in September. So let's take a look at what my net worth is and how that's calculated. Now I've gone through and I've categorized all of my accounts and put them together into assets and liabilities to make it easier to, see the calculation. So take a look here and you can see that I have a home that's worth $200,000. I have about $4,838 in my bank accounts, plus or minus some pennies. I rounded up and down for each of these just to make it easier. My retirement account is currently worth $29,210, so that's my total assets at $234,048. Now, this is well below what you should be having at age 40. I am way behind the curve on everything, so keep that in mind. I'm starting off way behind and looking to get to retirement by age 65. And that's what this whole channel is all about. So let's take a look at my liabilities. My mortgage is currently $196,190. That's actually two different mortgages. The initial mortgage on the house plus a second mortgage that was offered through a state program that helped me with my down payment, some initial repairs that needed to be done on the house, and closing costs and all that. Secondly, credit cards. I owe $10,367 on credit cards. Now, I would normally say that that is the worst thing you could possibly be doing, but I don't pay interest on my credit cards. And if you want to know how, just take a look at my video up here, and you can see exactly how it is that I avoid paying any interest on that $10,000. Thirdly, my home improvement loans. I actually have two of those as well. One for basement work that had to be done to waterproof the basement because we were getting a lot of flooding when I moved in. So we put in a sump pump and a drainage system, and that was about $10,000. And then the remainder of that in home improvement loans, that was for putting in air conditioning in my house. So we have central air, and that's not something that you see a lot in the Northeast. Where I'm from in Florida, it's everywhere. Up in the Northeast, you don't see it that often. And then lastly, student loans. I owe $75,630 in student loans, and that brings my total liabilities to $311,163. When you subtract the liabilities from my assets, that leaves me with a negative net worth, a negative $77,115. And I had mentioned this in my initial video that I was digging my way out of a hole, but now you see exactly where I am in terms of that hole. So this is the breakdown in terms of raw numbers, but you can also see this in the graphs that I'm about to show you. And you can see from the asset side, my biggest asset is my home. I don't consider my car an asset, so I don't include that here. And the reason that I don't is because a car loses its value immediately upon driving off the lot. And so in 25 years, if I were to go and sell my assets, that car wouldn't make me any money at all. So as far as I'm concerned, a car is a liability, not an asset. So I don't include it here. And secondly, you'll notice that my retirement account is only $29,210. For 2020, my goal is to bring my total retirement accounts up to about $58,000. That would put me on track between my 401k, my IRA, and my HSA to meet my goal by the time I turn 65. So 58,000 is my goal there. My bank account, you can see that I don't have a whole lot of money, liquid cash. I've got about 1 month's worth of emergency fund there. I'd like to get that by the end of the year to be about 6 months of emergency fund. So I want to grow that bank account to at least 10,000, if not 12,000. Likewise, you can see these liabilities, the breakdown on that. The majority of my liabilities are in my mortgage, which is what I expect for most people, that your mortgage is probably your highest value liability. Second highest value liability, student loans. I do owe over $75,000 in student loans. I actually completed 2 different bachelor's degrees, so that's quite a bit higher than, the average student loan I would hope. But the one thing is that the majority of those student loans have really low interest rates. So I'm not too concerned about paying them off faster because I can make more money. I can profit off the difference of investing that money versus putting it into paying down my student loans faster. The next highest is home improvement loans, almost $29,000 there. I definitely want to get that down. I'd like to see it under $20,000 by the end of the year, especially one of those loans is about $8,500, and I'd like to get that paid off by the end of the year because that one's actually a 7% interest rate, and I'd rather lock that in than take that money and invest it because I wouldn't make much of a difference there. Credit cards, $10,000. I will not have those paid off by the end of the year, primarily because I have until February of 2021 to pay them off with no interest. So my intent there is probably just to continue to pay enough to where I will have them paid off by February of 2021. Now, we've talked about my net worth, but do you guys know what your net worth is? Do you do net worth statements? Let me know if you do in the comments down below. Now, you don't have to tell me what your numbers are. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable with talking about their money situation. However, I would like to point you out to one of my videos where I discuss why you need to be comfortable talking about money. But I understand why not many people would want to talk about that in an open forum online. I'm doing it because that's the purpose of this channel, is to get you guys to see somebody like me who is definitely behind the curve, who is definitely has been struggling with their finances for a very long time and now is looking to turn that around. So I want to show people what it's like moving from being in a situation where your net worth is negative to hopefully getting to the point where you can retire. And I want to show people that it's not too late at the age of 40 to do that. So if you like my videos, please click the like button. Again, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell, and anytime that I send out a new video, you'll get notified. I'd love to see and hear from people who are interested in my journey and interested in all the things that go into becoming financially literate and moving forward into financial independence. So comment down below if you haven't already. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.